Beyond banter, let's talk why Nigerians have experienced fuel scarcity for the last 30 years and consistently experience the same for the last 1 year. Here is an insightful conversation between the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Ayanda, the president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Chinedu Okoronkwo, actress and activist Kate Henshaw, and Premium Times during the Twitter space organized by Premium Times on the subject matter earlier today, July 6, 2022. One thing is for sure, sitting on the sidelines is costly. As Nigerians, we must be involved in governance and politics. We need to speak up and we need to ask questions. Take a listen.
The NLC president spoke. Ayuba Waba spoke.
I did not speak, please. It's the Ipman that spoke.
Okay. Whoever it is that spoke, the war cannot and should not be used as an excuse for anything. And there should be blame game. If someone has a job to do, then you do your job. You don't say, don't apportion blame. Then who do we hold responsible for not doing their job?
The minister today said, unfortunately,
the war didn't start. The war just started when? And we're using the war as an excuse. We never learn. It's always a knee-jerk reaction in Nigeria. As long as it concerns the citizens, that's always the case. They're accused in my area. They're accused in my area. They have been accused for years in Nigeria. So the war of Ukraine is not what happened years ago. I'm trying very hard to become. It means to me that Nigeria doesn't learn. It means to me that the leaders do not give 2 cents about what happens to the people. They are so far removed from the realities on ground, and that's because they choose to. If you are saying that things are expensive, whose fault is it? All these monies, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go into corruption. All these monies that are being stolen, surely we can plow it into making our refineries work. My question remains, why do we not have functioning refineries all these years? We have crude oil. Why do we not refine our own products? Over the past, for as long as I've been a Nigerian, electricity is a problem. I have experienced so many fuel crises, queues all my life, and that is the reality. Why is this so? Why can we not generate electricity from somewhere else? Why do we even keep depending on petrol? It's for cars. We have generators. Before, I grew up in a place where you don't see generators. Maybe it's more like better past my neighbor. Now, every house you move into, you must build a house for your generator. I said it earlier. We are getting inverters, solar, generator, just to power one house, and we're not producing anything. It is evil. It is unconscionable. It is evil for not having any refinery functioning. And you're saying we should hold on. It will soon happen when? When? We are always waiting. We are always praying.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks again. Let me now, it is what it is. This has been around. We have so many interests. We have the government. We have the marketers on the business side. They want to make profit, which is understandable. But bottom line is that Nigerians are in the middle. Good policy or wrong policy, good market business model or wrong model, the Nigerians bear the brunt. So let me come to the NLC president. Thanks, Mr. Waba, for joining us. We appreciate your time. I just want to ask you, we do know the organized labor, is supposed to have engagements with the government, perhaps at all times on different issues of policies. I just want to ask you, at that level, what have you learned to be the real problem of these unending fuel shortages across the country?
Well, first, I think let me start from the basis, because I want the discussion to be really participatory. And that's why coming at this point in time is also good for me to take it from the basis. I quite agree with Kate that it's really unfortunate and it's shameful that Nigeria being one of the major oil-producing countries in the world, we are in this quagmire. And it has been a recurring decimal for the past 30 years. Nothing has changed. We export crude oil and then import refined product, and we complain. It's therefore penny wise and pound foolish. The energy crisis that the world is in today will have been of advantage to Nigeria if we are refining and then selling product. Just as Europe, the entire world now is looking onto Nigeria actually to now produce gas. This has been a recurring decimal, and it's really unfortunate. It's about the choices, the policy choices we make. So it's a neoliberal policy, it's deliberate. The last time we engaged the government, you remembered, when they suddenly came with the idea of removing subsidy. The issue of subsidy and using the term the regulation. You know, we confuse ourselves, or they confuse us with all of these jargons. They mean the same thing. If we are refining, certainly the issue of subsidy will not come in. Subsidy came in because we are not refining, and therefore a lot of other charges. And even managing the so-called subsidy is not being done transparently. It's modeled up till now. Nobody can tell you how many liters do we consume per day. We keep budgeting and budgeting trillions of naira, but yet the issue have not been resolved. We have seen it with diesel. Diesel have been fully deregulated. What have been the advantage to Nigeria? No advantage. Nigerians have been suffering. In fact, yesterday, I tried something just to go and buy a loaf of bread. Do you know that a loaf of bread that used to cost 300 naira is now 1,000 naira? There have been hyperinflation. People have been pushed to the wall because energy means everything. Without energy, certainly there will be no life. A lot of organizations now are reducing working hours. In fact, they are closing early. And productivity is nearly at a 0 point. This is where we are. And therefore, everybody should be concerned that this is a real challenge. Yes, Labour have engaged the issue, if you remember, when they tried to say they are removing subsidy and then jack up the price. And we said, no, it's going to have a multiplier effect. One of the major causes of hyperinflation in Nigeria is actually when you jack the pump price of petroleum product. And that is what is happening today. The cost of goods and services is beyond everybody because of this singular, most important commodity. Many businesses are closing because they cannot run their businesses on generators because diesel is so expensive. And secondly, also, the power, the national grid is epileptic. This is the real challenge. At the time we engaged government, we gave them only one option: go and fix the refineries. And you remember the first time we engaged Ike Kachiku, he said no. By 2020, 2 refineries will be working. It's well documented. Google it, you will see his statement. All those statements were signed. Here we are in 2022. Nothing is working. All the 4 refineries have been shut down. Why? It's not because they cannot work. Let me give you one example. Diesel. Diesel is the most easiest commodity to refine. And modular refineries can actually refine diesel. Why do you think deliberately, instead of even organizing those that are refining illegally into clusters and allowing them to refine, we went ahead to close those illegal refineries? Why? Because deliberately some people are benefiting. It's a cartel. Whether you like it or not, it's a cartel. And that's why you cannot get it transparently right. Our refineries are not old, they are new. We have refineries in India, United States, they are 100 years old, they are still working. It's just like a machine. You can service them. All those facts are well documented. We have actually commissioned research. Best researchers around the world. We have shared this document with government. Nobody have contradicted the proposition that we have made in those reports. But the political will is what is required. Because you can build modular refineries in 12 months. We have gone to China. We have found out all of these facts. But where is the political will to do all of these things? There is no political will, and that's why today all of us are suffering. So we are not on the table with government because the meeting ended sine die. Sine die means there is no agreement, and we said we gave them a condition. Before you increase the pump price of petroleum product, make sure that the refineries are working. And you remember it was at the end of that meeting, they now say, oh, we are going to fix Port Harcourt refinery. By 2020, we are going to fix Port Harcourt refinery. Or Dangote refinery is coming on board. But we are also very skeptical about the monopoly of business. Energy is so central to developments around the world. In fact, we have comparative advantage. And I agree with it, Kate. Anybody accusing the war between Ukraine and Russia to say that was the reason for the crisis? No, for the past 30 years, we are past this route. In fact, it ought to be an advantage to us if we are doing the right thing, because we'll have been supplying the entire world and the entire West African market with energy, particularly petroleum products. This is what we have failed to do.
Yeah.
And marketers and regulatory agencies are actually holding Nigerians to ransom. That is what is happening. I've checked around.